Hello, good morning, Vietnam. How you doing? Just about to be 8 a.m. here Wednesday morning, and we're doing this. All right. Sorry. There we go. Coffee, the Keurig. Anyway, I wanted to talk about a few things real quickly. So the project of moving all my gear around there and downsizing it, you're always kind of thinking about different options when you're weighing all of them. And so I did, my plan was to move some of the stuff into the other room, and I started with just the virtual pinball and the one ups. But then I took the Capcom Mini Cute last night and rolled it. It's nice because it has wheels, so it's a mobile one. Rolled it into that room as well, and yeah, it looks quite cool in there. But one thing I was just kind of thinking about that I guess I didn't really, kind of being out of the scene and not up on all the latest, bits and bobs, gadgets, little things that are coming out. Certain things slip your mind, certain projects that have been going on, and one of them in particular I just thought of. Okay, so first of all, I should preface all this by saying, I have the Super Neo 29 and the Neo 29, the 29-inch monitor Japanese candy cabs in storage still, and only the Mini Cute is in my setup right now. But kind of in going with my sorry, that thing is loud and distracting. My softwareless model plan. I love MAME. I've got a nice MAME setup that I've built over the years, and I'm pretty set in my ways with that, but I'll get to that in a minute. I love, like, optical drive emulation with the Sega Saturn, PlayStation 4, digital software, old arcade titles that you can mess around with the HDMI to VGA setup and the RGB 31 kilohertz PC CRTs, which I love. All of that kind of stuff. The SIO PS1, multi-carts, Darksoft, MVS. But, I was thinking there are a few things that you could do, that I could do in my particular case. And if anyone has done this, by all means, chime in. Feel free to do so. Chat with me. Let me know what you think about this. But a lot of my friends out there have talked about the MiSTer FPGA project, and it's not really something that I've honestly delved into or given much thought at all. I did try a Retropie, Raspberry Pi years back. Was thoroughly unimpressed with the setup, to be honest with you. Very unintuitive, and the games list was worse and ran worse than even MAME OS X, which I use, and I've kind of perfected my setup with it. I've done some videos on that, and people can attest to the fact that I've gotten it to look perfect. And I've devised a nice system. But with the Pi, I thought it was like horribly underpowered, and the games list, the ROMs were even less up to date than MAME OS X, which was really discontinued in terms of updating around 2009 or 10. So, anything that wasn't dumped and fixed at that point never will be, because the project was just abandoned. And that's fine. Virtually anything you need works perfectly in MAME OS X. But it was like the Pi was worse. And in terms of the quality, the machine, it's just this very underpowered little device. My Mac Mini handles MAME a lot better. But the games list, too, the dumped ROMs list was worse. The games didn't run as well. Didn't like it. So RGB Pi, that type of thing, wouldn't consider it as an option, even for the even modding the arcade one ups. It's like, shoot, I'll just keep them as they are. But back to the actual like arcade cap, like with the candy cabs that I have. Um, what about the so I've never tried the Mister FPGA stuff. I never have, and I wonder. Oh, it's warm. Very loaded with caffeine. Um, I wonder how intuitive it is and how easy it is to kind of like sort of set it up for the first time with the cores and everything and get a setup that you would be pleased with going. And the other thing I was thinking about in terms of that is because I'm so set in my ways with the MAME system I do, it's like I'm not really super keen on learning some new system that is going to give me fits. Still have the time, my mental fortitude has to be diverted in other areas at this point. I don't need some huge project learning some complex thing. But what about I'm wondering if somebody creates like a fully loaded MiSTer FPGA JAMMA device, right? Because where was it recently? I heard somebody on a forum or somewhere, just perusing them like I do on occasion when I'm thinking of new game room ideas. Somebody had talked about like a JAMMA Edge connected MiSTer FPGA. And how cool would that be? Because I mean, apparently it's like the closest thing you can get to playing on actual software hardware. So, you know, roundabout thing here. But back to my point about why I dislike. It's like I don't want a game collection anymore, and I don't like changing in and out physical software, be that discs in the form of cartridges or JAMMA PCBs in terms of arcades. So imagine especially with the Mini Cute, I think it's a royal pain in the arse to key the top and the bottom of it and open up that entire front panel door to change in and change out a board. And the boards don't mount. I mean, you have to vertically mount them with that thing, at least with the harness I have and just the way it's set up. And I haven't fiddled or messed with modding it at all. It's just as it is. I really did like the Super Neo 29 and the Neo 29 better in the fact that there was more space on the floor for like your 4-slot MVS motherboard, or which my Neo 29 was wired JAMMA plus MVS, which is different than JAMMA. But the Super Neo 29 is just straight up standard JAMMA. So I would put my CPS2 boards or whatever, IRM M72 boards just horizontally on the floor. I love that. With the Mini Cute, and with those two Neo cabs, you've just got the square cut out with the key where you just pop it in, turn it, and fold it out. With the MC, the Capcom cab, you have to pull that whole door open and the CP's attached to it, and it's a little bit more fragile and flimsy. Um, it's like slightly more of a nuisance to deal with. I don't enjoy it all that much, but I wonder, like, a good option for me, um, and it might like, boost my enthusiasm for what's my word, computer here, boost my enthusiasm for my arcade cabinets if I could have a setup like that, kind of a MAME type of setup. And what better way to do it than I guess with the best possible sort of emulation area with MiSTer FPGA. How cool would it be to slap one of those fully loaded, all cores games? Because I don't want to fiddle with it. If anybody knows where to point me in the right direction for that, let me know, because I'd love to get something like that. One that's already built JAMMA compatible, or riddle me this, fellas, or answer this for me, if you will. If I could find something that was already built and loaded up with the games, but not constructed with the JAMMA capability, is there some sort of adapter that you could plug right into it? Because hobbyists make everything now. To just take a loaded, fully built MiSTer FPGA box and plug some sort of, there's got to be some interface unit on it that somebody has built something for to plug in like a JAMMA edge connector that goes right into your Super Gun or your, in my case, the Mini Cute candy cabinet, because I'd love to have that in my setup running, and be able to play games on it without having to go in there and change out every CPS2 or MVS board, because really those are the only arcade boards I want to keep. But I don't want to be constantly changing them in and out. So what do you think, Mr. FPGA JAMMA? Anybody know where? Is anyone I guess selling one that's all loaded and ready to go arcade wise? And if not, like where do you go to accomplish such a feat these days? Because I think it would be interesting. It might boost my enthusiasm for keeping around the Neo cabs too. So, just some thoughts, and yeah, chime in, let me know. I'd love to know. It's kind of a question to you guys, the community. So, anyway, have a good morning, a great day, and I shall speak with you soon. Talk to you later.